Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, October 2nd. We have all you need to know about the end of a nearly decade-long lost person search in Centre County, as well as an update on the possible opening of a new downtown restaurant.
We also have more on the arrest of a suspect for rapper Tupac Shakur, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned.
For joining us tonight, I'm Kaitlyn Pfeifer.
And I'm Ryan Lowy.
A Centre County judge has officially declared a local missing woman legally dead. Jennifer Cahill Shadle disappeared in May 2014 at age 48. She was last seen leaving a Mexican restaurant off of Atherton Street in State College. She was legally declared dead on May 15, 2021. Pennsylvania law permits individuals to be legally declared dead if there has been no contact or communication for 7 years or more. Her investigation remains open with no charges yet filed in connection with her case.
A Philadelphia-based cheesesteak company announced it will no longer be coming to Penn State. Pat Steaks originally had plans to open its second ever food stand location in State College. However, the proposed December opening is no longer in the company's plans. The company says it's hopeful to come to the State College area in the near future.
After more than 12 years in business, a local art gallery is shutting its doors for the final time this month. The Green Drake Gallery and Art Center opened its doors in April 2011 in downtown Millheim. The Penns Valley Gallery not only served as a showcase to sell artists' work, but also housed concerts, music and art classes, poetry nights, and special exhibitions. A closing sale will be held through Sunday, and remaining inventory will be sold at the Dutch Fall Festival.
The Penn State Great Insect Fair came back to University Park this weekend for the first time since 2019. The event was held at the Snyder Agriculture Arena, where Penn State's Department of Entomology sponsored an insect fair to celebrate the program's 30th anniversary. Visitors attending the fair had the opportunity to visit exhibits featuring an insect zoo, honey tasting, a tick prevention training program, and more. Well, temperatures are back up to summer levels this week, but how much longer can we expect to go without sweaters? Michael Witowitz with Campus Weather Service has the latest details. Let's take a look.
From the students of the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening, State College. Mike Witowitz here with your Campus Weather Service forecast. Starting things off by taking a look at our time lapse over Beaver Stadium today. You can see we started the day off with quite some dense fog that may have impacted your visibilities as you were heading out the door this morning. That quickly burned off for us though and set the stage for a beautiful afternoon with some mostly clear skies and temperatures well above average for us. Now, as we take a look at your weather headlines for today, you can see that those warmer temperatures are really going to be the theme as we head throughout the rest of the week. Summer's last gasp, if you will, as we're going to see a strong ridge of high pressure that settled in over the region remain in place, bringing us more sunshine and warmth. However, as we approach week's end, we're going to begin to see things change for us as we're going to watch a front approach the region that's going to usher in a new weather pattern for us, and it's going to make things more unsettled and drop our temperatures quite dramatically as we head towards the weekend. Before we get there though, as we take a look at our high temperatures for today and those departures from average, you can see here in State College, we reached a high of 77 degrees. That put us 9 degrees above our average, and across much of Pennsylvania, we were in the upper 70s to the low 80s, which put us anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees above average. And as we widen things out to look at a wider portion of the eastern United States, we can really see that theme translated. A strong ridge of high pressure is dominating our weather pattern, pushing our jet stream well to the north and allowing this warmth to surge north into our area, making things feel more like August than say October. Now, as we take a look at our future weather, not a whole lot to talk about in the near term. As you wake up tomorrow morning, skies should be mostly clear, although I do expect some fog to develop once again tomorrow morning that may impact your visibilities again as you head out the door. Clear skies, though, should remain in place for us as we head throughout the day on Tuesday and into Tuesday night as well, albeit some more fog developing likely for us Wednesday morning. Now, as we take a look at our upper air heights, you can see this ridge of high pressure really dominating our weather pattern as we head through midweek. That's going to keep things warm and summer-like for us, but things will begin to shift for us as we head towards late week. This ridge of high pressure will begin to shift to the east, and we're going to see this trough begin to develop over Canada and dive to the south. And where these two air masses meet, we expect a cold front that's going to bring some unsettled weather and is going to drop our temperatures dramatically throughout the weekend. You can see by Friday into Saturday, this upper level low really settles in over the region. It's going to keep things cloudy and cool and unsettled as we head throughout the weekend and into early next week. We can see that translated on our future weather. Taking a look at the European model, you can see by Thursday as that front approaches, we expect to see those clouds increase throughout the afternoon. And by Friday, that's when we expect the front to swing through our area, bringing us some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder here or there. And as we head into the day on Saturday, we're going to keep that rain around for us. But by Sunday, we should begin to see most of the rain clear the area, although with this northwest flow off the lakes, we can still expect some shower activity in clouds, especially the further northwest you go. And if you're a fan of the warmer weather, as I mentioned, enjoy it while it lasts, because if we take a look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, you can see as we head towards next week, we're seeing a very high likelihood of some below normal temperatures for us here in the eastern half of the United States. But take a look at our forecast for today. As I mentioned, clear with a low of 56 degrees with some of that fog developing in the valleys later tonight. But as we head into the day tomorrow, another beautiful day to us. A beautiful day for us with some abundant sunshine, highs near 80 degrees, really feeling like summer out there for us, so get outside and enjoy it. And as we take a look at your 7-day forecast, you can see beyond Tuesday, we keep the summer-like weather around for Wednesday. Thursday, we'll see some increase in cloud cover, although Thursday should still be a nice day, all things considered. Friday is when things begin to change for us more dramatically as that front moves through the region, keeping things unsettled through the weekend with those temperatures dropping dramatically. By Sunday and Monday, high temperatures should only be in the 50s, feeling a lot more like October. Well, that does it for your Campus Weather Service forecast. My name is Mike Wojtowicz. Have a great evening.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Olivia Dunn with your sports update. Penn State football is now 5-0 after their slow start victory over Northwestern on Saturday. The Nittany Lions allowed the Wildcats to strike first with an early field goal followed by a touchdown. The blue and white immediately woke up in the second half with 17 unanswered points, including a brotherly shove QB rushing touchdown by Drew Aller. In the end, Northwestern was only allowed one more field goal with a final score of 41-13. Running back Nick Singleton tallied 80 rushing yards, while sophomore defender Zane Durant delivered a key sack for a 9-yard loss. Number 15 Penn State women's volleyball took down number 13 Minnesota in 4 sets at Minneapolis this weekend. They remain undefeated in the Big Ten. They clinched the first set with a strong 25-14 win, but it was no easy victory for the Nittany Lions. The second set went to the Gophers, and the Nittany Lions scraped by in the third, but they finished off with a 28-26 nail-biter in front of over 5,300 attendees. Junior Taylor Trammell earned a career-high 16 kills, while senior Jess Merzek led players with 21 kills. They take on Indiana at home on Friday, followed by Ohio State on Saturday. Penn State not only has dozens of D1 sporting teams, but also club and intramural teams. But you might not know that a new sporting league has come onto our campus. Our reporter Jordan Spagnoli in the studio with more details.
Thanks, Olivia. Esports has been a growing field all across the world, including here at Penn State. Penn State has its own esports team that competes in different competitions, but they've never had anywhere to practice. Campus Recreation, with the help of some sponsors, decided to build an esports complex right here on campus. Let's check it out. Behind me is the new Esports Center that Campus Recreation built to create an immersive gaming experience. This new facility is located here on Penn State's campus in the Mary White Building. After being under construction for about the past year and a half, it finally opened up to students at the start of this fall. This new 3,000 square foot facility can house up to 60 students at a time, making it a great place to come with friends.
The eSports Center offers a variety of technology, including 55 private gaming computers, 1 PlayStation 5, 1 Xbox, 1 Nintendo Switch, 3 65-inch televisions for PC game casting, and 3 85-inch televisions for console playing. The best part, all of these games and accessories are free for Penn State students.
I'm just really happy to have the community here, and I think that's what's really important about this facility being here. I know a lot of people think it's just for the competitive teams. I'm more so excited that everyone from casual to competitive players can all just have a place to meet up if they don't have places or friends that it's not very easy to connect with this interest in person. So this is a great place just for people to hang out.
Starting in the spring, student gaming organizations on campus can reserve areas dedicated just for coaching. Students will have access to 10 hours of PC play per week and unlimited console play.
If you haven't had a chance to check out the new eSports Center yet, it's definitely worth a stop by. Jordan Spagnoli, PSN News. The new eSports Center isn't just for competitors, but for everyone. So grab your friends and head over to play some games and just enjoy the environment. Back to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Jordan. The NFL took a trip across the pond to London Sunday with the Jacksonville Jaguars defeating the Atlanta Falcons 23-7. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence opened the game with a 30-yard touchdown to former Falcon Calvin Ridley, followed by a pick six from Darius Williams for 61 yards. The Jacksonville defense also dominated in Wembley, led by linebacker Josh Allen, who racked up 3 sacks, the most by any player at the stadium. Both teams are now 2-2 on the season. The Jaguars will stay in London next week to take on the Buffalo Bills, while the Falcons will return to Atlanta to host the Texans next Sunday. That's going to do it for your sports update. After the break, Emma Aiken has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Emma Aiken with your entertainment update. The State Theater is presenting the film Mean Girls tomorrow, Tuesday, October 3rd. The 2004 comedy tells the story of Katie Heron, played by Lindsay Lohan, and her journey of moving from Africa and trying to fit in with the popular girls in her new American high school. One of the most famous lines is when classmate Erin Samuels asks Katie what day it is, and she replies, "It's October 3rd." It is now considered one of the most quotable movies of all time. The showing starts at 8 p.m. in the Friedman Auditorium. Tickets are $10 for adults and $7 for students. The 11th annual Pumpkin Festival is returning this week at Penn State. The festival will run from 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday and from 3 to 9 p.m. on Saturday. The event takes place at the Arboretum between East Park Avenue and Bigler Road. There will be a jack-o'-lantern contest, pumpkin giveaway, lighted nighttime displays, and more. Last year's event hosted over 20,000 attendees, with 880 pumpkins given away and 232 gallons of hot cocoa and apple cider enjoyed by visitors. The new celebrity romance between pop music's biggest star, Taylor Swift, and Kansas City Chiefs tight end, Travis Kelce, has taken the world by storm. Swift's presence at Arrowhead Stadium boosted the game's viewership to over 24 million people, a quarter of the amount of people that view the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs sold more tickets in that single day than since the start of the season. There has also been a 400% increase in Travis Kelce jersey sales. Swift's presence at the game has proved the true power of celebrity influence. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Bronwyn Leiber will be speaking with Penn State Wrestling Club's co-presidents Maxwell Klingensmith and Logan Newell. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Bronwyn Leiber, and with me tonight are wrestling co-presidents Maxwell Klingensmith and Logan Newell. Thank you both for joining me tonight. Why don't we just get right into this interview? So first, what does a typical week look for y'all with practices, tournaments, team bonding?
So in a general week, we have 3 practices on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Each of those practices run a little differently. On Mondays, we generally stay a little slower, looking towards technique. Apprehended the name Move Monday recently.
Nice.
We just go slow. We're looking at technique. We have 2 groups, one for our newer wrestlers and one for our more experienced wrestlers, so everybody is getting something out of the practice regardless of their skill level. Wednesdays, we usually take what we've done on Monday and push it up the pace a little bit, a little more drilling with some of the stuff we've learned, moving into a little bit of live and higher pace stuff. And then on Wednesdays, we call it Fun Friday. We're trying to just get people into the room, have some fun, and then get them out of there so they can get on with their day. Generally, we'll go in, warm up, wrestle a little bit, play some games, so everyone gets a good sweat, and then head everyone home.
Yeah, we're only permitted 3 practices a week by the school, but it's a hard sport, requires a lot of work, so we encourage individual workouts like running, lifting, by yourself or like with other teammates sometimes, so yeah.
Very fun. You mentioned training. Speaking on training, what kind of like styles of wrestling do you guys typically format on and train on?
So we focus on collegiate folk style. That's what the NCAA does, so that's what NCWA does. There's a lot of other styles like freestyle, Greco-Roman, and we have a lot of other guys that come in like jiu-jitsu backgrounds, kickboxing backgrounds. But yeah, we're collegiate folk style, and that's what we do.
Very cool. What are you guys doing to prepare for this season in particular, looking at past seasons, going forward into this one, and what values are you really circling in on as a team, like such as discipline?
So last year, the biggest thing we realized that we were lacking in was our cardio. We felt that our guys, especially as we got towards the postseason, had all the wrestling skills necessary to win matches. We were just finding that we didn't have the cardio necessary. So this year we're really ramping that up a lot, trying to get our wrestlers into better shape so when we come to the postseason, everyone's ready for those long matches, those overtime matches. With the values you mentioned, we're really focusing on hard work, right? With wrestling, it's a great example of how hard work pays off. To succeed in the sport, you really have to put in the work, the hours, the practices, even if nobody's around and looking outside of practice, everything like that. And it makes you learn a lot because you have to learn that to get with the hard work, you're going to succeed. And you can then push that towards different aspects of your life, school, other clubs, your job, really anything, and benefits you in the future.
I can definitely respect that. From what I've seen, wrestling really seems like the type of sport where it's whoever shows up to the mat that kind of day. It's not who's ranked highest, it's who wants at the end of the day, who's put in the work behind the scenes, and that's amazing that y'all really focus on that. Moving on, you guys are both the co-presidents for this amazing club. What are you guys really working on to be leaders for this program, on the mats, off the mats, behind the scenes? What are you kind of doing?
So it's beginning of the year right now, so we're trying to get everything in with the school, everything completed with everyone else in the club.
Yeah.
We're communicating with other schools about competitions, other meets and stuff, dual tournaments, regular dual meets. But yeah, we're doing that, and we're trying to get as many people in there as possible, regardless of experience, background, gender even. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but we love it.
All right, I want to hear this from both of y'all. If you could play any school or go against any school for a matchup tournament, who would you want it to be? Putting you on the spot here.
Any club team?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm thinking, does Ohio State have a club team?
They might.
Well, I mean, if they do, it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good little Big Ten rivalry.
Yeah.
Ohio State or Iowa, probably for me.
Oh, yeah, Iowa's also incredible. Okay, and then finally, being a club sport, everyone is coming from different backgrounds. I know both of y'all came from very different backgrounds. What would you tell to either viewers maybe who have never wrestled before or even people with wrestling backgrounds, like what they can do to join the club or just what you do to grow a team like that?
So wrestling really is an amazing connector. In high school, for example, you're going to meet people at different tournaments and you're going to run into them everywhere. And then once we're here at our club practices, you see the same wrestlers every week at the practices, putting the work in with you. And that really just helps you grow a bond with each other. Me and Max didn't know each other 13 months ago. We met last year through the club, and we wrestled together and became friends because of the work we were putting in the room. And we were really pushing that experience to as many people as possible, regardless of experience, and just getting people into the room.
Do you feel like wrestling has helped y'all with time management by any means or helped you with any other life skills?
Absolutely, especially now that we have a lot bigger role in the club. We have to be there every single day. We're also trying to get everyone else to work on their time management as well, so that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's a lot of time goes into the sport, so as long as you're doing it correctly, I mean,
yeah,
you get it done.
And I mean, when you're putting in the hard work in the room, in the wrestling room, it's a lot easier to leave a practice and go home and do the assignments you need to get done, or cook the meal you need to cook so you can be eating healthy and do everything else to succeed. And it's really just pushes you towards success.
That's incredible. I know I definitely need to work on my time management. So the fact that you guys are able to balance all of that is just truly, like, really amazing and incredible. And then, honestly, like, you guys have been here. You've obviously worked your way up. What is your favorite memory from Penn State Club Wrestling, if you have one?
I think just in general, the tournaments we went to last year, we went to a variety of places all across this nation for nationals, and then different across Pennsylvania for our competitions through the season. And those tournaments are all just such a blast. Whether we're just going for the day, maybe we're waking up in an early morning to go to a tournament, or we're driving down early or late that night before, staying in a hotel. It's those experiences you have with the people you're putting the work in with already. It's just a ton of fun to be in that aspect, and then the matches and stuff are even more enjoyable because you're with the people you're working with, and it's just an enjoyable experience.
That's got to be very rewarding. I'm glad y'all have gotten to succeed in it, and honestly, I'm going to have to come out to a match this year, but I think that's everything I have for today, so thank you both so much for coming in tonight and joining us here and telling us more about the wrestling program in general. Make sure to stick around, because coming up next, Kaitlyn and Ryan will have the latest news from across the nation.
A Nevada man has been arrested in connection with the 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur. A murder indictment has been issued against Dwayne Keith Davis for his alleged role in planning the attack. It's believed that Davis obtained the weapon with the intent of seeking revenge against Tupac Shakur and Marion Suge Knight following an earlier altercation. This indictment is a long-awaited breakthrough in the pursuit of justice in Tupac's murder, and his family says they are pleased with the news.
A former California State University employee was recently sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Orange County Prosecutor's Office says 55-year-old Chuyen Van Vo murdered his boss after finding out that he had stole over $200,000 from the university through fake tutoring invoices. Police say Vo stabbed his boss roughly 30 times prior to fleeing the scene. This caused a 2-day manhunt by California law enforcement to apprehend and arrest the middle-aged man.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a monumental bill mandating that school boards cannot ban instructional materials or library books offering state-compliant, diverse perspectives. This move comes amid a nationwide controversy over book bans and censorship in conservative-dominated school boards, particularly over textbook representations of sexuality and LGBTQ+ history. The bill will take effect immediately.
A federal appeals court has made a significant decision concerning gender-affirming medical care for minors. A Cincinnati-based court of appeals ruled 2-1 to allow Tennessee and Kentucky to enforce laws that prohibit gender-affirming medical care for minors. This includes measures like puberty blockers, hormones, and surgical procedures. The 11th Circuit revived a similar Alabama law. Additionally, courts in Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, and Montana have all overturned similar bans. Well, that concludes our show for tonight here at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a great night, everybody, and stay safe.